Let's talk about what I'm mining next, and my mining infrastructure. Hey, I'm Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I'm chasing passive income dreams and financial freedom dreams here, largely through the use of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and crypto investing, and of course, crypto mining, which is turning my electricity, internet, and a little bit of knowledge, and definitely some sweat lately, into passive income, right? So these are the miners I'm looking at, the mining infrastructure, and basically how I'm trying to create a return on investment or increase the existing return on investment for my mining endeavor. So when you look at the mining profitability of so many different coins, even with the current market conditions, it's very, very interesting, right? So this is 1.4 million, that's 1.3 million, that's 220,000, that's 220,000, that was 220,000 just a few days ago. And there's many other coins that are not covered on here, and the up and coming Alph, right? Alephium. We'll see if that's really gonna be an exciting coin to mine or not. If you saw our other video, the recent development of dogecoin and litecoin, which are historically merge mined together, they're now being triple mined, and those miners are getting bells tokens paid out there as well. And I realized my first bells payout, which has been interesting, and we'll have to continue to evaluate how that impacts the mining rewards dynamic. But it's basically another coin to earn with your miners that you're already running anyway. It's a very big why not. You look at the most profitable miners off mining profitability calculators. There's a bunch of these. AL1's crazy, still pulling in $209 in revenue after a 7.5 cent per kilowatt hour electricity rate. I'd be pulling in about $203. I've gotten my electricity rate down substantially over the last year, which is decreasing my cost to operate miners by about 25% or more. So that's been a big win for the VoskCoin mining farm, which is one of the reasons why I pushed solar down the road a little bit. Then we look at all the kaspa miners, the incoming big, best-in-class dogecoin miner, the Antminer L9, right? And all of these are ASIC miners. They're application-specific integrated circuit miners, purpose-built machines. All they do is mine crypto, right? And you're like, well, what about GPUs? I'm like, look, dude, GPU mining was incredible. It was so much fun. It was so engaging. It was so rewarding. And you got to use some sweet multi-purpose hardware, right? But GPU mining is dead, my friend. It's been dead. It's been dead for a long time. And a lot of people led a lot of other people off a cliff with GPU mining dreams. Unless you hit the right coin spec mining. Wow. For the low cost of several $1,000s, really nearly 10 grand with the top of the line GPU mining rig with like 6 cards these days, nuts GPU prices, you could be the proud owner of about 11 cents a day in realized profits after you count for your electricity bill. It's I'm not trying to dunk on this out of spite or hate or whatever. Those are good times, but those times are gone. So what am I doing? Where is my head at? The big recent news is going to be the Ice River AL0, right? And of course the AL1. So I have an AL1 on order. I'm a madman. I'm going to get one. Hope it works out. Please work out. But until then, we got the Ice River AL0 in. So you can check out our video review on that. Just got my first day of mining profitability earnings in. I mined about 2.7 or 2.6 Alph. That equates to about $4.5 more or less. This cryptocurrency, many people are hoping it's going to be like the next kaspa, but kaspa was absolutely not the norm. It was the exception in the price performance. And the other crazy news, or the price drops on all the kaspa miners, you get a KS5L direct from Ice River, right? We got a link out below and a coupon code to save you more on top of that for like 2 grand. And right now it's making like $18.50 a day. That's crazy. We look at the other profitable miners to grab right now, right? We already talked about the AL1. This thing was kind of outdated from its launch. Classic gold shell lately. There's also the AL Box 2 Plus. Gold Shell's trying every which way they can to move some Alpha mining hardware before these AL1s hit their destinations and just decimate mining profitability. We're seeing, immersion ready models from major miner manufacturers like Bitmain. It's interesting to see. So I'm looking at these, I'm thinking about the next phase. I'm thinking, are we on the cusp of finally that parabolic crypto bull run, especially for altcoins? So let me give you a quick run through of my mining farm. I would do a lot of things differently in retrospect, but we can't go back in time. In the future, I'm looking to pull out over a megawatt of electricity out here, which would be an absolute game changer for me. But until then, I have basically 5 400 amp services on my property, 4 dedicated to mining. So let's kind of take it piece by piece. My digital shovel mini pod, it consumes a 400 amp circuit, so I can deploy around 24 miners in there. And that's full. It's actually more than full right now. I also have the gray shed, which is the VoskCoin immersion mining shed. That is also completely full right now. I do have some unprofitable mining rigs I'm going to cycle out, which will open up some room, and then I'm going to move some miners in from the pod into the shed, into immersion fluid, and then I'm going to plug in some gear that I have sitting here waiting to get shelf space. So I may be cycling some gear out, but both of these will remain full. I've also pulled a 100 amp circuit from the hard drive shed, deployed the fog hashing C6 in the immersion shed. I'm basically running 500 amps in that shed, just tapping onto this other circuit. Then beyond that, I run numerous mining rigs in the field building, not too many when it's hot, but through the winter, it's a great way to keep that place nice and warm for whenever I'm over there. And it's like free overflow space. The problem though is I get all excited, I get some gear deployed in there, and then it gets hot, and where do I put it? I also have maybe 25% of the hard drive shed running actual hard drive miners and servers and stuff like that right now, along with the mini split, pretty low electrical consumption there. And then I have the entire half of that service, 200 amps, pulled over here to the side for the digital shovel nanopod. The short of it is I thought I was receiving this soon for about a year now. I still have not received it. I bought miners ahead of time to be ready to deploy in this, and then this was delayed and whatever else. So I'm sitting here thinking that I may just go ahead and scrap all my prep work, which sucks. I'll lose a couple grand in the grand scheme of things. But I may scrap all my prep work that I have over here where I have half of the service marked off for it. I may pull those 200 amps that's actually run basically from the panel right here underground to like here. I may go ahead and pull that out and run it over here. And when I run it over here, I think I'm going to try to run it into the immersion shed and deploy another 200 amps into the immersion shed. And with that and the amount of space I have left, I'm thinking I need to get vertical, ideally. And so I'm looking at like the Pro 9 immersion mining rack system with DCX. With these 3 tubs, I could put 8 amp miners in each of them, so I could deploy another 24 miners potentially, right, as far as the space goes in there. How many I can actually deploy will vary on their power consumption, because ideally I would actually have 400 amps of electricity available to power the system, but I may look at some energy efficient models that would help me achieve this goal, or I would just simply put 6 in each of them instead of 8 in each of them, or whatever else I need to do, maybe 5. That would be kind of ugly though. I like the symmetry inside of there. But to be very clear, I'm not stopping mining. I'm not slowing down. I am trying to work within what I have here available. Overall, my miners have been doing great. My most recent one to break is my Antminer X5, which I found very surprising and disappointing. So I need to deal with this. Might send it to Bitmain to repair after I do some more troubleshooting. But this is the error I have, and this is a new to me error that I have not dealt with on other mining rigs. Moving forward, I'm going to be doing less and less Bitcoin mining. I'm going to still get a couple miners, still have it be like a piece of the farm, but it's not going to be the backbone as it was. Bitcoin mining difficulty has just gone insane, and I'm competing against literally million and billion dollar mining farms. And for basically just me at my scale, it's a losing equation. So what I can do is basically be more aggressive and go heavier into altcoin mining. And I don't even have to mine the altcoins with the systems in place these days, right? So I've got like the BMKS Max and IB-Link kaspa miner, the Ice River KS5L, a kaspa ASIC miner. They're mining me Bitcoin over here. My most profitable Bitcoin miners, ironically, don't even mine Bitcoin. Not directly. So looking beyond that, right, I'm looking at limited capacity. I'm looking at a long lead time to pull out more electricity, right? So I'm looking at profitable, capital heavy, risky miners. What really turns me off though about this AL1, very, very big power consumption. Do not miss that. 3,700 watts is a ton of electricity. I look at miners that consume like 2,700 watts being much more appealing, and that can help me get a much better return potentially out of a tiered immersion system. So that's what I'm thinking, because I have more gear to run right now than I have the capabilities to deploy. And so this is the field building. This is VoskCoin HQ. There's a lot of plans for this, but I've just been focused on other projects. So these projects haven't really been realized, or the plans over here haven't been realized. So again, 400 amp service on this, right? So I've got 200 amps in 2 panels. That is the system we deployed across the farm. And I'm thinking that I may rewire these panels because the load is split between them. I may rewire them and just load everything onto one panel. That's drawing's getting starting to make sense. And then I will have half of the electricity potentially available, right? And we'll draw it like this. Not doing a great job. And what I can do with that is I can take that. It would actually go over here, and it would come out of here. So like the panels over here, and I would just take them out, bloop, and just drop the nanopod whenever I can, procure that over here, and well, that'll work. The big problem with this though is going to be I'll have to rewire my panels, which will cost money, and I'll have to run a circuit system over here and trench that out, which will suck and cost money. But that's the name of the game when it comes to mining. And my other concern is using enough electricity to get me bumped up to the next electrical rate where I'll be getting better earnings. What's interesting though is I could also try to run a couple more circuits out of this and get more electric into the nanopod and run more than 12 miners, because if I can run around 20 miners in there and then just leave a little bit of electricity in here for this building, I could probably get to a better electric rate. I hope I'm not just getting too far into the technicals with all of this stuff. So that's where I'm at. That's where my head's at. The VoskCoin channel is interesting because on one hand, right, I'm a content creator. I make videos, I review stuff. I try to get in every miner possible to review, and just be a leader in content creation. I hope I make you guys fun, entertaining, and informative videos. It's always been the goal and the mission. Then on the flip side, I'm a mining farm builder and operator, but the unique advantage of VoskCoin, right, is leveraging the content creation in conjunction with miners there, and it helps us build out the farm at a lower cost and a faster pace. It lowers my risk, and it increases, my break-even periods, or simply returns with the mining endeavor. So it's a very synergistic relationship. If I can have paid off miners, if I can pay off my infrastructure and then potentially deploy solar and pay off my solar, right, I can have a real life money cheat code. Harder to realize than many people may think. I spend a lot of time working all the time and I still feel like it's taking me so long to get anywhere. But when I take a deep breath and a step back, I remember that just a couple years ago, what I have deployed already would be an absolute freaking dream, and I would be so blown away with myself. So I'm trying to be a little more positive lately on that regard. I really kind of hold my face to the the fire, and keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and that can be good, but it can also really take a toll on me. Beyond that, right now I'm exploring solar options for a house in conjunction with net metering and maybe a small battery backup system, because we do unfortunately have some power outages out here. I want to zero out my electric bill at the house. I'll get my feet wet with a solar deployment and then look at some sort of commercial level deployment. I'm hoping that timing will kind of line up with like parabolic crypto bull run when miner prices are just absolutely ridiculous. And at that point, I will absolutely stop expanding my farm and I will focus on solar because miners become too expensive and too risky. I'm honestly shocked at current miner prices versus their returns in the market conditions. But there's a lot of people that are bullish on mining, which is making miner manufacturers filthy rich and miners less rich or not rich at all. So that's my breakdown, a little snapshot in real time of, kind of where my head's at, what we're doing, what we're looking at, where we're going. Again, I'm Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. If you like this content, please subscribe. If you don't, fuck you. Just kidding. This is my dog, the venerable Tails Vosk. She's beautiful. I think of her more like my daughter. And she's an absolute key member of the pack. She kickstarted the VoskCoin journey. We run 10 seconds of Tails on every video. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, you want to buy a mining rig? Do you want a pretty good price on it and pretty fast shipping? Then you may be looking for ASIC Marketplace. Click our link in the video description below to not only support our channel, but support yourself with the coupon code we've got right next to it.